going to be talking about our compost pile.
Manure pile.
Manure pile.
And topping
up the raised beds.
All right.
Okay, go.
Hey guys, we're going to be talking about... We're talking about?
Compost.
No. Hey guys, so today we're going to look at what we did with our planting beds. We put...
What are we going to be doing today, Caleb?
Today, we're thanks for asking. So today we're going to be looking at, we're going to top up our beds. What is the verb? And what else are we going to be doing? I had it together. Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at how we topped up our raised beds. We had some compost we've been saving for 2 years, and we're getting ready for spring, and we're starting in the fall.
Yep, and we're also going to be having a conversation about the skills that homesteaders need and how to plan ahead, and we're going to be taking a family outing. So let's go.
Let's go.
Behind me is our Mutt Keep, and it's quite extensive now. I think it's probably about a 2-year build-up, and some of it we've transferred to the garden, but mainly this is all manure from the horses. It's some of the plants that I pulled out the garden. It's chicken manure and kitchen scraps. Our compost might be one of the biggest resources we have on our homestead next to our woodland. Horses are amazing animals to keep when it comes to having a steady supply of organic growing matter. For us here in northeast Missouri, our ground is dominated by a heavy clay soil. So with this resource on hand, we are able to fill both our raised beds and be intentional about amending the topsoil for in-ground growing too. I just want to show you this compost. See how black and rich it is? It's absolutely amazing. Our growing season here in Missouri lasts from around April to October, depending on the conditions and the type of crop you're wanting to grow. It's a goal for us to eventually have a large atrium to allow us indoor growing during the winter months, but for now we do what we can using garden fleece to protect the plants from the frost. And last year I was actually able to keep spinach and cilantro green and growing even in a -20 degrees cold front. The log pile raised beds that you're seeing here were literally put together on a simple wooden frame using split logs, and they are a real head turner when they're full of green and blooms during the peak season. If you're wanting to see how we put them together, then I'll link the video here for you to check out.
out of breath.
That's why I don't need a gym membership.
You're out of breath. Let me get it. So we got it mounted up, the manure, and it'll sit all winter long, and we'll just let time and the weather settle everything down. And what's underneath might come up, and there might be some volunteer stuff, whatever. But obviously we'll get it ready for spring for seedlings.
Yeah. The horses did a good job, right?
Yeah, for 2 years worth of cooking, that made some nice looking stuff.
I mean, it's amazing how much dirt you can get into. It kept packing down and down and down, and every load you brought, I thought that was going to be enough. But as I stood on top of it, you feel the air that's inside, and
Yeah.
it's really rich and moist. And you certainly can't buy it like that, or if you're going to pay for it like that, it's going to cost you. These are like 16-foot beds, and they're 3 foot wide and.
I've easily moved like 4 tons of manure.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The volume and the weight.
Yeah.
My goodness. And not to mention what was already in there. Like these beds have got pure animal manure.
Organic matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and leaves and.
There's nothing. There's no clay or nothing that's like our topsoil's not there. We don't have topsoil, it's just clay on top. So.
And that's good for us because we do have a lot of clay here in the ground. All the organic matter that we add to the soil is just going to keep improving it,
Oh, yeah.
especially for the in-ground growth.
Sure. Yeah. And it's just a matter of time. It's just year after year adding to it to more mature garden. So. Hi. Oh, hello.
Caleb and Socks have got a love relationship going
We
on.
do. We're good. She keeps the mice away, and I give her lots of petting. Hello, Mr. Bond.
We got something else to do now.
What are we doing?
We're going to go and get Christmas trees.
Oh, yeah. It's the day after Thanksgiving.
We've got a family outing. It's going to be so much fun. Okay, guys, where are we going today?
Branch Ranch!
And what we going to get at Branch Ranch?
Christmas trees!
Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, and I know I'm going home. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Can't you hear them bells ringing, ringing, joy, joy, hear them singing. When it snows, I'll be going back to my country home. Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, and I know I'm going home.
What are some of the skills someone might want to learn or activities that they might expect to do on a homestead?
You're growing things, raising things. You're being intentional about that. Generally, when you put a seed in some good dirt and tend to it regularly with some water and sunlight, you got a good chance. It's going to come up. Conditions that are right. So
Yeah. So I think as well, it's using the means that you have to sort of control how you're sustaining yourself. The sort of progression that I've seen is people will start with a garden and they'll get some chickens. Next maybe comes the dairy goats and a couple people
bees,
doing
maybe.
bees for honey, and maybe even a dairy cow down the line. And so the spin-offs of those are being able to use those resources, being able to preserve your garden production, being able to use dairy, for example, and turn it into other products like yogurt, milk, cheese, and ice cream. But there's a lot of people then sort of take it a step further and they get into making their own detergents and body products, and even people making their own clothes and linens. And so, you know, I think there's a whole range of different skills.
And I think there's always a spectrum, isn't there, of how many people will be dependent on a store versus like, no way will we ever touch foot in a store for whatever. Using the Laura Ingalls era, the Little House on the Prairie era, like obviously they still went to the mercantile to get certain things like fabric and sugar and flour. Well, not flour, but so there's a spectrum.
I think building is a big part of a skill that you need for homesteading.
Absolutely. Good point. Even if you want to go start off with veg and a raised bed in the backyard or something like that, or you don't have to have a raised bed, but then obviously going into a chicken coop, and it's just and it's related to your budget, right? How much, what can you afford? But you want to get into chickens, and I need a coop, and do I build it or do I buy one? You can buy one, and then but you build it, and usually it's cheaper to build it, and then obviously you learn as you go, and you get some skills on how to build what you want to do, and you can scale up from there, get some confidence in how you're going to tackle on the next project. And I guess one skill you got to learn is time. That's one thing I think, and that's not specific on homesteading, but
yeah, because it's going to take me a lot longer to build something than it is you, but
depends.
I'm learning,
Depends
and so
build something like is in like a chicken coop, for example.
Right. Well,
versus build a website.
In year one, I wasn't able to put really two boards together, and now I feel quite confident to use a drill and a driver. And I'm hoping that I'm going to get to a nail gun quite soon. You just bought a new one, so I think I should get the hand-me-downs. Are you ready for your morning bath? I have to lift this up for you. Come on then. Come on then. The ducks have taken to flying out of the predator fencing. For some reason they don't fly back in again, and they wait on me to lift up the fence so they can get in. So I already see that being a problem, because the point of getting the automated coop door and having them in a predator safe area was so that it wouldn't be so hands-on as it is. So that's not really working out. But they're ready for their morning bath, so I'm gonna fill this up. Looking at the progression of our own journey just 2 years in, we have found that it's easy to expand perhaps more quickly than you planned. As we bounce back and forth between the farm and the farmhouse, one thing is for sure, we are gleaning our DIY skills. From starting out with a small garden and 4 chickens for a steady supply of fresh eggs, we soon after acquired more chicks, guinea hens and ducklings. Perhaps one of the most important skills to develop, and I say this for the benefit of anyone starting out on their journey, planning and realistic time management will save you money, stress and overwhelm. It's easy to look at so many gorgeous farms out there and feel like you fail by comparison or that you'll never get there. But don't make the mistake of spreading yourself too thin. Start with 1 or 2 activities and do them well. Become a super learner, a researcher, a recycler, and set your goals. Then, when you're ready, take your first step towards your dreams, and you will eventually get there, one project at a time.